sure. Well, but this is the last question I have for you guys. I really love this conversation though. It's going so well. I have so many questions, but one of the question I had, I know that we're not masters or we don't have like master's degrees in relationship, whatever. But if there's one thing that you can advise the next person, someone watching this, or what what is one thing that you can encourage them to do to get like to have like, let's start with at least French. Like first thing, what do you think someone needs to harbor into their character, or whatever, to have like great friendship? Like what would you say for friendship, and then after friendship for romantic? Because those are the two top I can say that people can value, like either friendship or romantic relationship. Like advice or something that you think you see that it's working for you, or it's making your friendships better or your romantic relationship better. What
Why are
can
you
you
laughing
say?
at me, Timothy?
Because I knew you were going to answer first.
Look, do you have something you would like to say?
You got it, sister. You got it.
No, I think for friendship, which I think can relate to romantic, but we'll start with the friendship. I think two things. One is like, maybe three things. One is like being your complete self. Because like I grew up being a people pleaser. So I was like this living chameleon, like trying to just transform myself or like highlight certain aspects of myself to fit in with certain people because I wanted them to like me and stuff. And that whole game, like it just gets really, really tiring. Because like if you're never your full self, you're always having to like think. It's just a lot of energy wasted, and then you end up accumulating friends that like a part of you but not the real you. So it's a tiring effort. So I would just say like really be content with like who God's created you to be. You don't need 20 friends, like close friends, obviously. Like you can have a lot of acquaintances, but like you don't need 20 close friends. You don't even need four. Like even if you just have one or two other like people who know you for who you are, like it just makes life so much more rewarding in friendships. And so I would say that. And then the second thing is like I would just allow people to also be their complete selves. Because again, like, you know, we want to be our complete selves, and then we have expectations for other people to like do things the way we do them, think the way we think, reciprocate, like react the way we would react. And then we end up getting frustrated with other people. But it's like, learn to just love people, care about people for who they are authentically, let them be them. And then that allows a friendship, I feel like, to really blossom whenever each party can be their complete selves without, that doesn't mean you don't try to encourage them or like call things out that are faulty, but like just valuing them for who they are completely, I feel like leads to a really good friendship.
Yeah.
Did you want to touch on the romantic side?
We could hit on that after.
Okay. Yeah. I'd say for me, in terms of friendships, is you need to have genuine care for people.
Yep.
Like whenever you're meeting someone, like remembering their name goes a long way. Remembering the conversation, remembering like what they said they were gonna do that weekend.
Yeah.
Just generally caring for someone, and I think just goes a long way. And I've seen like where that's taken me. I think there's a reason why I've been like multiple people's like best men is because I try to like demonstrate that genuine care for people.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to, I think, advice for romantic relationships, dang, my mind just slipped. Someone else pick up on the friendship.
Yeah, I think for friendships, I think also making yourself available, like having the time, right? Like we are all busy, like, you know, us, you know, we're very busy with kids, like people have work, like people are generally just busy people, but even just taking the time, like one thing that I've done differently this year is I've been telling my sister and also my husband at least once a week, the people that are kind of like in my inner circle or even outside, a little bit outside my inner, just check on them like once every 2 weeks. Just to check in and see how people are doing. Because I think that that's very important because there are some people that are really going through. There's nobody checking in on them. There's nobody asking them, how was your day today? How can I help you? Like, how can I be there for you? And it doesn't have to be anything spiritual. It's just like day-to-day things. Like, can I pick up something for you? Like, can I watch your kids for you? You can drop your kids here and do whatever you need to do. And I think that like, that's one thing that's really been helpful in me maintaining the relationships that I have now that I didn't have back then, because I would say like God has definitely blessed us in a community where I'm able to have a little bit more friendship, and I think that goes a long way, making yourself available in service, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be monetary. It doesn't necessarily have to be like you bringing a gift, but just being there as a friend, even if it's that 20-minute phone call that after 10 o'clock you did not want to have, but it needed to happen for that individual. I think that that's really important. So
I'm sorry. Can I just like say like on the opposite end of that, like, but also something I was told that was super important is to like reciprocate the energy that you're given in a friendship, though, because I found I was getting so mad because I was out here like pouring out my heart and soul to folks who weren't like, if I'm writing a 5-page paper, I'm getting like a 1-sentence text back, and I'm like, and I'm getting mad, but it's like it was just, it felt like it was a waste of energy because like especially in a friendship or like everything is really just like there's no like real commitment in my opinion. Like friends, you know, like you really choose to be there, like reciprocate the energy you're given, and over time if a friendship is there that needs to go deeper, like someone might open up a little bit more, and then you reciprocate that and they're like, oh, they're giving that same energy, and naturally things just start to get deeper. But if you try and start off on 100 and they're at 5, like don't get mad at the other person for being at 5. Tone back your level 100 to their 5 so that you're managing your expectations for that.
And I remember we had talked about that too, because it goes all back to expectations. And like I said, I'm a giver. I love to like be friends with people that are like in my inner circle, because I love the people that God has placed in my life. And so I think that was also something that I needed to hear, is like, yeah, there are going to be some people that you can be there for that are going to be your friends, but there's some people that they don't need all that time and energy. Like you're really, really wasting a lot of time and energy. And so that was something that we had personally talked about, so that I don't get frustrated and I don't have unmet expectations, but also so that like, you're still doing the work as a friend, but also not making it feel like it's a chore.
Yeah.
So,
in the culture today, there's that if they want to, they will attitude. And I've thought that many, many times. I'm fighting that a lot. But then if you think about it, if you're thinking that way and they're thinking that way, then no one's ever going to reach out, right? Yeah. So kind of like a mix of what everyone's saying, like, make that effort, make that time, put in the work for it. But at the same time, look at how they're reciprocating. If they're not, you can reevaluate the relationship and tone it down, or if you feel like your needs are constantly unmet, have that conversation, or find, another connection and put more into that where you feel like you are being reciprocated.
Yeah.
So just kind of getting rid of that toxic, I don't care, I'm not going to put in any effort attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember what I was going to say about the romantic relationship piece. I think that the advice I give to people is that you need to love yourself. And I think what I mean, you need to love yourself.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, one, you need to accept yourself fully, the good and the bad. But like loving yourself also means that you need to like hold yourself accountable to the bad. And like you need to like, you need to be focused on like growing as an individual as well.
Yeah.
And so I think like once you accept yourself fully, but still hold yourself accountable for like the faults that you have, and you have the intention to grow those, that's going to give you the biggest capacity to be able to actually love someone else.
Yep.
So that's the advice I'd give.
Straight facts. Because I've seen, and I'll give the advice that I was thinking, because I've seen time and time again, like when you don't fully know yourself or know where you're going or like hold yourself accountable, then that starts to put undue like stress on the other person. If you don't understand that like you have this natural propensity to anger, then this other person you're with angers you. You're going to be blaming them for, you getting angry, when in this situation, maybe they had the simplest response that was normal. No reason to get angry, but it's because you have this weakness of anger, for example. But like, if you don't know that about yourself and if you don't hold yourself accountable to that, it's going to cause this undue stress and tension in the relationship that didn't need to be there. So, bro, you hit the nail on the head. And then to add to that, I was going to say, like, I feel like what I've learned is that keeping the friendship the priority in the relationship is key. Because, like, I mean, I've been in a relationship where that was not key. And to be clear, like, what does that actually mean? Like, the relationship stuff is like, going on the dates and doing the gifts and holding hands and cuddling and all the relationship is like types of things. Like those are all like good and fun. But like if you don't have a friendship like as your basis, as your foundation, at the end of the day, like feelings come and go. So once those feelings are gone, like what you talked about, once the spark is gone, like what's actually left? And friendships can take you through anything. You can feel it, you cannot, but like the friendships will last long and actually help the spark and all the romance, whatever, like, come back whenever it needs to. So I would just say like that friendship foundation is key because if you're trying to grow, if you're trying to be understanding, if you're trying to work through issues, like friends can work through anything. Feelings come and go. And so that's just not a stable foundation. And on top of that, I mean, you can only learn stability, in my opinion, through God because he's the most faithful one. So having God as your number one and focusing on that relationship teaches you how to be stable in all relationships, whether friendship ones or relationship ones or romantic ones. So
My advice, like learn yourself. And I
Yeah.
always tell like young people who ask me about relationship, I'm like, do you know yourself? Because it's dangerous if you don't know yourself and you're trying to bring someone along with you. You don't even know yourself. How are you gonna manage them? You don't know yourself. Something's gonna happen. You don't know why it's happening. And I'm not saying that you're gonna know yourself like in one day. It's a journey until I don't. You're gonna keep discovering things. But I think that taking the time to know yourself, like how you function, how God made you, and to know yourself, like personally, me, since I'm like very deep into faith, like I'll pray, I'll ask the Lord help me to understand, and I'll do the physical work to take time, think about things. How do I handle like hard situation? How do I handle good situation? Trying to learn all these things, and because like in a friendship, and friendship for me, it's like the most important of all the relationship. Why? Because like even me being married right now, my wife, she's my best friend. I take time to make friendship because there's this saying like friends are even like his friendship is stronger than even brotherhood. Like we hear that the friend is more than even a brother. Why we say that? Because like in a friendship, there will never be a friendship without no trust. It's impossible. And in friendship, I feel like friendship for me is a relationship where you are always willing to give without receiving. Like in a pure friendship, you see sometimes like good friends, like your friend messed up or your friend is about to get into a fight that you have nothing to do with that fight, but you're ready to go there and throw punches. You're ready to put your body in line for something that you don't know how it happened. You don't know why they even put themselves into it, but there's just something staring in you like you want to go because that's your friend. You want to be there for them. And I tell people, try to know yourself, build a good friendship. And I feel like that helps like the romantic because like you guys said, in romance, there will be times where you don't really feel that romance. So if everything was just based on that romance, and then now you don't feel that romance, that's when a lot of people they just bounce because it's like, okay, I don't feel those butterfly anymore. I don't feel all these things. They bounce. But if the friendship was the basis of that romantic friendship, if you don't feel that spark, you still stay there because that's your friend. You guys have something to still be together, and then with time, that spark will come again. Like those sparks, they come and go. Like
In waves, yeah.
it's waves, they come and go. Like I've been married for 7 years. Like there's sometimes like sometimes I'll be there. I'll just trying to put my head on my wife's lap because I like head scratches. But sometimes she doesn't feel like giving me head scratches. She doesn't. Doesn't want to do that. Let's say that was my, because my love language is touch, right? And she knows it. Like, okay, that's my love language. Now she doesn't feel like doing that. Let's say I was like ready to die on that hill, and she's like, I'm not giving you head scratches. Well, and that was the basis of my thing. I'll be what, like, hey, deuces, I'm gone. I'm not getting my head scratched. I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? But now because she's my friend, we talk about it. I'm still not gonna get that head scratch that day, but we still talk about it. She still hear how I feel, and she's like, "Well, you feel like that, but I feel like this too." But it's okay. We talked about it, and we're still together until today. I still love her, and then maybe 2 weeks later, she's ready to give me a hair scratch, whatever. But I'm still there because she's my friend. She's my best friend, and I want to be there with her through the high, through the lows, because like I said, we're human. Sometimes you just don't feel doing something that the other person want to do, but you just don't feel it. Are you just gonna bounce? If there's a friendship, I feel like you're not just gonna bounce, because just think about it. Some of your ugliest fights, sometimes with your best friends, like you have the most ugliest fight, but then you guys make up after that. The friendship is a bond. I love friendship. Like real friends, they're hard to find, but when you find some of those, they're the best. Like you guys can scream at each other, like face, like even go to fist fight, but then after that, they see you guys tomorrow. It's like, what happened? It's not you guys, but because you guys are friends. So that's what I advise people. Like, take time to know yourself. Really, take time to learn who you are. That way, when you bring in someone with you, whether it be friendship or romantic, whatever, you know who you are. You know how you can serve them because you know already who you are. And take time to know them too. Just like you guys say, take time to know the person that you want to have a friendship with, you want to have a relationship with, a romantic relationship with. Take time to know them. Take time to know them. Love them doesn't mean that you should not call the buffoonery sometimes. But if you build that friendship, then when you guys are calling each other, actually you guys are molding each other like into a good thing. Because this is one thing that I want to talk about, especially in romantic relationship. It cannot be a romantic relationship. I don't think even any type of relationship, but especially the romantic relationship, they cannot be one without compromising. And how do you compromise? You don't just fight and say, no. How do you compromise? You take time to talk. You take time to understand, okay, you don't like this because I need to understand why you think like that. You need to understand why I think like that. That's the only way we can find like a middle ground. Because if I don't know why you are thinking like that and I don't care to know why you're thinking like that, why would I waste my time finding a middle ground? Because it's like, this is how I think. I don't think your thought process, I don't even want to know why you think like that, So compromising is very important. Like, especially if you want to get married and you want to stay in that marriage you gotta compromise. There's a lot of things that we had to compromise, me and my wife, like
A lot of things.
a lot. But well, thank you guys for coming through this. Like I said, I don't want to stop, but I know that we have a lot. We have a lot to do later. Some people need to go. The beautiful people here has a lot to do. So one last word. If you care to share your handle, what you do. I know you have some artists here. If you want to share, you have anything in the pipeline you want to let people know?
Don't mind if I do. So follow me on Instagram at Victus 2.0. So VICTIS 2.0. No caps, no spaces. And I have an EP coming out. The plan is for it to come out next week. So December 6th. It's a Friday. It's my second EP called Exodus. 4 songs, bro. It's about to be fire. You don't want to miss out. Christian hip hop / indie vibe. So if you're on that wavelength, hop on.
There you go. I know that you guys learned a lot. I know that you guys learned a lot about this conversation. You hear different perspectives. You wanna say a last word before?
No, I just appreciated this conversation. This was super dope. And so glad to be on the first episode and excited to continue to follow the series and see what other discussions you'll have and whoever else you invite to the discussion.
Thank you. Yeah. Lauren, how was it? You were a little skeptical. How was this one?
No, this is really nice. Just getting to know everyone a little bit deeper and honestly reflecting on everything that everyone shared, different, opinions and advice. And there's so much to learn, just based off of our different experiences. And so it's very insightful and really nice. So thank you.
Dope. My wife, what do you have to say?
No, this was good. I didn't expect it to turn out this well, but I really do think it's good to understand like where people come from, how it shapes, their understanding and how their experiences also kind of challenge and also can change their behaviors too. And so it was really cool to be able to see that as well. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, I want to thank all of you guys. This is the first episode. So you guys who are going to listen to this, it may be not the perfect start, but you have to start somewhere. So I'm just so grateful that everybody is here. Grateful for Tim, grateful for Lauren, grateful for Victoria. We're grateful for you, Anna. and grateful for whoever is gonna watch this. So the podcast is let's see where it goes, and definitely I saw where it went. So see you guys for the next one.
Bye.
Bye. Peace. Till next time.